Hey, guess what? It's been a while, but we are back, and this time we are covering the 4A Desert Sky region. We're doing the overview on that one. This is more of that Pinal vibe that we have from Varsity Breakdown that we're showing some love towards. So I'm going to be a little bit back on this one because I don't know it as well as my man Daniel probably does here. Going over just to kind of talk about things real quick. What we do is we will go ahead and kind of look at how the teams were ranked according to max preps. That's what we look at. Um, and we're going to look at how they kind of lay out. How's the region layout? We're going to do some overview stuff like that. But yeah, some great teams, some great programs in this region. Actually, a strong region. So give me some of your takes on this, Daniel.
It's a little bit of a combined region here from the East Sky and Desert Sky. So you're going to see a lot of playoff teams that you saw last year, as well as maybe some teams that are kind of trying to make that leap into the playoffs for this year, especially expanding to 24 teams. But definitely one of the strongest regions in 4A. So I'm interested to see, who's going to reign supreme on this one because I know there's one team in there that I have circled that I think is going to make a comeback from what they did last year. But other than that, I mean, it's a very strong region, and we're going to see how if they can take the number one spot throughout the course of the year.
All right, and just kind of looking at here, it looks like, and this is something that we stare at all the time. This is the region overview. So we're looking at not the region, but the division overview. So right now, coming in at the number two spot is this 4A Desert Sky that you're mentioning. Got a lot of strong. So let people understand the color breakdown here. The green represents the top tier of the division. The red marks the bottom. Yellow obviously is in the middle. So when you look at this, obviously they got five teams all in the top uh, third of the actual division, and only one being Mesquite, kind of sitting in that middle section or whatnot. But typically, like we were mentioning, a real dominant schedule. What I think right here, what we'll probably kind of do is just kind of take a little look here at the breakdown as well. So right here is the preseason state rankings, and what we have is both the state rankings, which is going to be the bigger number on top, but then we'll also break it down into how they rank amongst the 58 teams in their actual division. So first one that we're going to jump into is going to be Arcadia. They came in ranked 47th. So they're number six out of the 58 teams in the 4A when it comes to their ranking. And when it comes to their strength of schedule, which is going to be that bottom one, 782, what that is a combined, and we'll look at that in just a second here. But they have the sixth strongest region or sixth strongest schedule out of their region right now or division. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look here at Arcadia, and we're going to kind of break this down, and you guys will kind of get the gist of it from there. If you want to go ahead and run through it, Dan, go ahead and feel free, man.
All right, so Max Preps has them finishing 8-2 with losses possibly coming from Snowflake and also where was that second one at?
ALA West Foothill.
ALA West Foothills, which is a team that's making the jump up into 4A. Um, three straight road games right off the bat against Bradshaw Mountain, Camelback, and Moon Valley. When you look at their schedule, I mean, they have one of the stronger ones in this region here, but I think overall for me, 8-2, maybe even a 9-1 is something that I can kind of go with Max Preps. They're a very good team. Always have a lot of depth on this team. So the one thing I'll probably keep circled is that very last game against Snowflake, which is at Snowflake. So we'll
Right.
see how they travel out there. I mean, they're a team that made it to the second round of the playoffs, ultimately losing to Arizona College Prep. So, um, yeah, I think it's a very favorable schedule for them. It's just going to be can they probably knock off a team that's highly seeded, which is Snowflake there. What about yourself?
What do you think? And I'm just gonna kind of ask. I didn't get to really watch, and I don't know if you did either. ALA West Foothills moving up from the 3A to 4A. Do you think they're kind of coming in maybe a little high ranked, where that could actually be maybe? I mean, you said 8-2. I could possibly see a 9-1
Mhm.
coming in here for Arcadia. I mean, I agree with you. Snowflake and Arcadia have kind of lashed it out for the past couple years. Now they were in the same region in the past, right?
Actually,
Or
they
were they
were,
separate?
not. So,
Okay.
the team that used to battle with them was, Arizona College Prep.
Okay.
They were both in the Desert Sky. Snowflake's coming from the East Sky, so this will probably be a first time where
Mm.
in the regular season, these 2 teams go at it.
All right. So
No.
go ahead.
Oh, no, but as far as your question with ALA West Foothills, I think they're pretty, highly ranked, especially coming from the 3A. Um, so I'm thinking that it's gonna be more of a bigger game for ALA West Foothills to try to show that they can compete in this region. But, like I said, Arcadia, you can't take lightly when it comes to, this 4A region, and I know they're gonna wanna get a little bit further than that second round.
I think there's just a lot of strength in the schedule, as you can kind of see. And like we were mentioning, I'll go back over to it too, is like when you're looking at this, they have the sixth strongest schedule in all 4A at the time. So I'm really kind of liking what's going on with it. I think this is going to be an interesting one to watch. Obviously, like we had mentioned in the past, I'm really not, I don't know it as well as you do, being that you're up in that area a little bit more. But I will say this, some amazing football up there, man. Jumping into the next team, we're going to segue over there to the Combs, another Santan or Queen Creek area football program. And let's go back and we'll look at actually the rankings on this one here for them. They're ranked 80 overall in the state. But it looks like they were ranked 14th in 4A out of the 58 teams. They have on this one here, they actually have the weakest schedule out of the region here, and
Mhm.
their schedule strength is 35 out of the 58. Let's see why it's kind of coming into that. Um, no new teams. I will say this: I've seen a lot of this where there's a lot of new programs that are actually being added this year. So you will see that some of them might not have that it might say NA because their rankings aren't available or whatnot at this time, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. So on here, do you see any games or what's your case on this one?
Well, Max Preps has them going 6-4. I think for Combs, the first 5 games are going to be the games that they have to win. This is a very bottom heavy schedule. Paradise Honors would be a game that I would kinda circle as maybe a toss-up. Who knows, what Maryvale, I know you mentioned it, the Twins, I think, are over there now, right, from Desert Edge. So,
Mm-hmm.
what kinda program are they gonna be able to build? How much, players are gonna be heading over there to, help build that program back up? But when you look at it, first 5 games according to the rankings and stuff like that, they should be able to, knock all 5 off, and then you get into that region where it gets a lot tougher. I mean, to me, honestly, I think only the game of maybe against Mesquite, I have them pulling that one out,
Okay.
and, because, Eastmark, I know we're gonna get into them, they had a bit of a down year, a lot of injuries. I think at one point, they were playing with a 4th string quarterback. So, are they gonna be able to bounce back? But as far as the program overall, they're when I first started this, they were a team that had so much depth. Once their coaches, I believe, kind of transitioned, then they kind of took a step back. So they're known, in the Pinal County area as a playoff team. Just had a couple of years, transition years, where they weren't doing very much. So 6-4 is probably where I would kind of put them as of right now. It's just going to be that game, maybe against Eastmark. Could they pull off a game against Poston Butte? Those are gonna be the 2 that, you know, they would have to kinda try to steal. I know they beat, Eastmark last year, but, made the playoffs last year. So, had run into Yuma Catholic in the first round, and we know how tough they are. But overall, I think as far as Combs, they are progressing into another playoff team, possibly try to make another step forward this coming year.
I agree with you. A lot of their wins are going to come at the front part. Like you said, Mesquite on the back end, maybe. But I mean, other than that, I'm kind of agreeing with where Max Preps got these rankings here. Um, I do know, obviously, Rincon, Choya, the ones that are from the Southern Arizona market, Rio Rico. Um, I think those are definitely wins for Combs in this situation. Interested to see what happens with Rio Rico or whether or not it'll even be a fight. I know they got a new actually, honestly, Rincon's the only one that doesn't have a new coach. Choya's got a new coach. Rio Rico's got a new coach. So it might be a tough thing for my Southern Arizona teams, but I agree with you 100% on these, man. I got you right on that. And as you had mentioned, you were talking about Eastmark. We're going to go ahead and side right into that. So Eastmark's going to come in here, and let's go ahead and look at how they're coming in. Eastmark's coming in state ranked 65. They're going to be ranked number 10 in the division out of the 58. They got 899, which is their strength of schedule on the way that we do it, which is actually going to be, looks like the fourth strongest out of the region. They're also 15th out of all 58 when it comes to the strength of schedule on that one. And as we break this one down, I'll go ahead and let you kind of run through this one. There's some interesting ones here for me on the southern end of this all.
Mhm.
Being just like the Walden Grove, I'm really kind of interested to see how they hang with them. But other than that, I mean, like we're rolling on that Pinal County, man. So go ahead and tell me what's up with them.
All right. Max Preps also has them possibly going 6-4. But the good thing is they started off three straight home games. That's always something good right out of the gate. As far as some of the games, I'd probably, like you said, circle that Walden Grove game. Walden Grove has such a great defense. Could that impact the offense of Eastmark, which is always trying to, run up the score as much as they can? Um, then, yeah, I pretty much think it once you get into that region matchups, that's when the schedule is really going to determine a lot of things. But I think that they handle Chrisman, Maryville, and Washington and Mesquite. It'll be a good matchup, possibly for Poston Butte, depending on how they turn things around a little bit. But 6-4, I'm gonna say possibly maybe even as high as a 8-2.
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
I'll fall right in the middle at a 7-3. They do have to play Cactus Shadows. We'll see how that matchup goes, but I think their three biggest game or four biggest games this year are going to be Walden Grove, Cactus Shadows, and then Arcadia and Snowflake. But like I said, this is a team that had taken a step back last year. They were really injury plagued, so I want to see what they can do as far as being the team that I've come to know them as, and that's a very dominant team in this 4A division.
Right. Hey, man, I'm not going to argue with you, man. Um, I think what's going to really help them out, especially when they come up to Poston Butte, is they got those three teams like in a row, Maryville, Washington, Mesquite, that are actually beneficial for them. Maybe they can rest up, get any healing that they need to from the beginning of the schedule. But I'm right there. Other than that, yeah, I'm going to ask you at the end of this how you got this, the seating, the 1, 2, 3 breakdown for this region here, man. Next team that we're going to go into is going to be Mesquite. And looking at Mesquite here, Mesquite's going to be ranked 137 overall in the state. They're going to be ranked 35 out of the 58 in the 4A. They're going to come in with the fifth strongest schedule out of this region, which is actually the 22nd out of 58 overall in the division. As you can kind of see the yellow, that means they're going to probably have closer, and you're probably going to tell me here in a second, more of almost like a 500 or close to a 500 kind of schedule. I'm just guessing off the top of my head because you are looking at the max prep and I am not, or actually
Well,
the spreadsheet.
actually, Max Preps has them going 2-8
Ooh, okay.
right out the gate, picking up wins, possibly against Desert Sunrise and Maryville.
Okay.
Now, Mesquite, I mean, about 3, 4 years ago, this was a team that was in the playoffs, nonstop.
Oh,
Unfortunately, the past 2, maybe even 3 years, they've kind of taken a slump. But I will say they do have a new coach, and that's going to be Coach Hart, who used to coach out in Florence, and kept that program, almost contending for a state championship a couple of times. But he definitely brings a different mindset when it comes to his programs and getting his players bought in, because every time you we would go to a Florence game, that team was like locked in, believing in his system and his coaches. So
right.
I'm actually excited to see what he can do with a team like Mesquite, who is known to be in the playoffs every year. As far as me, I think 2-8's a little bit low. I'm almost in the area of what you were saying, maybe a 5-5, because some of the teams that they could possibly pick up wins against, Marcos Deniza, that's a
Right.
very good ranking
Greenway.
matchup. Greenway,
Right.
and then I'm interested to see how they fare against a team like Combs and Poston Butte. But,
Okay.
it's gonna see, we're gonna have to look at how, experienced this program is as far as the players that are returning. But right now, I'm gonna say somewhere between a 4-6, maybe a 5-5 year. And I think if you're a program like Mesquite, you know, um, that's where you wanna be trending. I know Coach Hart's not gonna settle for that. He's gonna wanna, get this team, contending for a playoff spot. But, it's just, they just happen to be in one of the toughest, regions, in 4A. So,
Right.
we're gonna see. Is there any games that kinda catch your eye?
Like I think you hit it on the head with the Marcos Deniza and Greenway. I think they need to kind of shock something there. I don't see much with Desert Sunrise. I mean, obviously that could be something that we don't know. It's a
Mhm,
upcoming school. You never know what's coming through there. Um, I'll sit here and say once again, Maryville. I don't want to sleep on them. I do think it's probably going to take a little while for them to kind of get that program firing the way they want to, but you never know. I don't want to sleep on that game either. But like, I think a lot of it is going to come if they're going to make any kind of thing. It's really got to happen outside of their region. Um,
mhm,
I think inside their region, as we see that they're ranked the worst in the region right now coming into the season, could they change that? Sure, maybe, but you're going to really have to kind of pull your weight for your region by playing
yeah,
those 9 region games and making them work. So that's where I would probably go with this. Is it's really important to see them kind of bring some of those extra wins to keep the region strong. I mean, it's that's one of the nice parts that they're sitting in is that they are kind of ranked to only go 2-8, which means if
mhm,
anything does change, it's beneficial for the whole group. So that's a plus. I'll give them that. But,
absolutely.
but other than that, we're gonna roll into right now Poston Butte. Um, there I'm really interested, intrigued to see how this one goes coming out the gate with Micah Mountain. Let's see where they're going here. They are ranked 66 in the state, ranked 11th overall in this region or division of the 58. They got their strength of schedule is actually the highest one in the whole region here, with actually being the third strongest right now out of the 58 in the whole division. So it's a strong schedule. um, this could be either good or bad, depending on how they actually manage it. Go ahead and tell me how this one's going to look.
Max Preps has them going 5-5 on the year, with possible wins against Paradise Honors, Marcos Deniza, Peoria, and Combs and Mesquite. Um, Poston Butte's always kind of finished around 500, maybe a couple wins ahead. I mean, they had the one great year just a couple years ago, happened to run into CDO in the playoffs. But I have to kind of double check. Coach Thompson has been there, as long as I've been doing this. If he's still there, he's all about running the ball and having great defense. So if they can get that going, that's always been their bread and butter. I would like to see them possibly find an aerial attack. I think that's their, Achilles heel there, is that they're not able to drive down the ball down the field very much, but they're able to develop a quarterback out there and be able to bring a different element. They could possibly be a team that could greatly improve from last year. They finished 5-5 last year as well. So as far as the schedule goes, I mean, those first 3 games, how are they gonna fare against a Paradise Honors who's, also moving up into 4A? But, it they've, played Micah Mountain I think this is a 3rd
Third
year in
year
a
in a
row.
row. Yeah.
Yeah, so it tends to sometimes be a really good matchup, but with Micah Mountain, fresh off of a national championship, it's gonna be very tough to do.
State championship.
Oh, so excuse me. State championship, I'm sorry.
You're good.
It's a little early in the morning,
That's
so,
right. It's
uh,
all right.
state championship. So, but as far as them, they've, been in this, East Sky with, Snowflake before. They play, just up the road against Combs before, so I think for them, they're gonna have to, get the game against Mesquite for sure and possibly knock off a team like Combs, and hopefully they have a good matchup against Eastmark. But I'm gonna say that they'll probably be real competitive. They always are. It's just you see they're the third toughest schedule in the whole 4A division. That's the thing that's going to possibly hurt them to maybe slip to that 5-5. But hopefully, I'm going to just say maybe a 6-4 at the end of it.
I'm interested in the first game, actually, because Micah Mountain lost so many kids.
Hmm.
They also have a new coach, Jay Campos, down there. That's going to be so it's a reload situation. Don't know how well they're going to do right off the bat. I think they'll be fine. Meaning Micah Mountain will be fine in their region. But I'm really kind of interested how they're going to hold up, especially if they come in kind of flat footed. So
Hmm.
that'll be really interesting to me. I like if Poston Butte can be firing all cylinders, they could actually maybe do a quick upset as Micah Mountain starts to discover who they are. Now could they fire like Micah Mountain be firing on all cylinders? That could very well be. But I do say it makes that game a little bit more interesting than us looking here at like a 66th ranked team to the 15th. So there that would be kind of my southern Arizona kind of throw into it. Be interested to see how that game actually goes. I mean, I'm loving my Micah Mountain, don't get me wrong, but you see where I'm kind of going with that. There could be a hey, don't
Hey,
sleep, guys,
the
come in.
game, yes, that first game,
Mhm. The
get
jitters.
all the rust, yes, the jitters, and,
Yeah.
that I mean, just 2 years ago, this game of what I think was our first game of the year, maybe second game of the
It's been
year,
the first game
and
for the past 2 years. Yeah.
yeah, and, we were out there in Poston Butte, and we saw just these 2 teams going back and forth,
Great.
and it could definitely, be, that type of game for sure, opening it out, but like I said, the only thing with Poston Butte is they have to find that air attack. That's the
Right.
only thing that's kind of holding them back. And yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I always like where they're at. Just gotta kind of take that next step now.
And if you guys want to check out that game, you can just go back on our YouTube channel and actually check out that game because we did stream that game. So last one here, we do have Snowflake, one of our teams that have become our good buddies up north. Love them, man. Great squad. Let's talk about them. They're number 32 in the state, ranked number 2 overall when it comes to 4A out of the 58 team programs. They do come in with the third strongest schedule on this in this region, which is actually the eighth strongest out of the 58 that's scheduled for the division overall. Um, Man, we have had a wonderful relationship with Snowflake. So go ahead and break it down.
So with Snowflake being the number 2 team, there's no reason why Max Preps wouldn't have them going 10-0 this year. But when you look at their schedule, I mean, it's that top side. I always say Coconino is a team that you never sleep on every single year. Nobody believes me.
Very true.
They
He does.
yeah, they come to play. And so that opening game, We just talked about the jitters, the rust. Could that be a game that could possibly hurt Snowflake right out the gate? I think they're a great team. They made it to the semifinals, I want to say last year in the state championship. If not, they made it all the way. Let me double check. Oh, they ended up losing to Arizona College Prep. So they're a team every year. We were talking about a couple years ago when they made the jump from 3A to 4A, how much they were going to be able to hang. It's like they didn't skip a beat. But as far as the rest of their schedule, it looks pretty much in favor for them, except I will always keep that last game circled down there against Arcadia. You got two teams that are finally going to go head to head in the regular season, not waiting for the playoffs this year. So for me, 10-0, I mean, it's going to
It's
be
always hard,
a
bro.
long, yeah, it's hard. It's going to be a long hurdle. This is a team that, we talked about, like Micah Mountain. They can't afford a hiccup for this region. It's going to throw things kind of off. But I'm gonna say at worst a 9-1, but possibly a 10-0 season for Snowflake.
Playoff bound regardless. Like
Yes.
you guys are going. Get ready. So let's go ahead and kind of look at this as an overall here, right? I'm going to kind of like want to break this down. So if we're sitting here and we're looking at this, right? I want your opinion. Who do you take as your? How would you break this down? Who's
Okay, so I haven't slept on them since they made the jump up to 4A. So I'm gonna go Snowflake,
okay?
Arcadia, and then I'm gonna have a surprise resurgence. I'm gonna go Eastmark at 3.
Okay.
Oh man, Poston Butte
Hey, right.
and Combs could either go as my 4 and 5, and Mesquite picking up the tail end there as my last team in this region. Do you see it any way different at all?
No, actually, I was sitting here listening to you say how you were. I was like, oh yeah, 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 probably, yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's kind of funny because you literally like we're almost following Max Preps, like the way they have them going 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look at their rankings there,
Hmm.
it's we're not really rocking the boat or anything that much. I do think that you're right when I'm looking at this. I do want to kind of like I think that games the Combs versus Poston Butte game could be really exciting. Eastmark could be exciting amongst pretty much everybody. Uh, I don't think right now with Mesquite. I think I'm comfortable with just putting them in that 6 slot. I'm just okay with it. Um, love to see them obviously shock me. I'm always up for a you know, prove me wrong kind of thing or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, I think you're dead on. I think that there's a lot of good football in this division around or this region actually.
Mhm.
Just kind of another look at this, guys. I mean, once again, if you look at it, it's 4A Skyline and 4A Desert Sky are just going to be so strong and dominant. Really interested to see how those things kind of shake up going throughout the season. But yeah, they're sitting at that number 2. I don't know if they'll be able to knock off region wise the number 1. Um, that would have a lot to do with Mesquite,
Mhm.
especially and once again we talk about this all the time. A lot of it comes down to what you do in your non-region games. Is like be strong, go do it, take it, put the strength or the value into the region. Let's go because I think it's going to be a little, smack around fest when it comes into them playing in the region. There's going to be a lot of interesting games, and you can't sleep on any of them because they're all pretty good and dominant. But I mean, hey, that's going to be pretty much a wrap up for this region. We're going to be spitting out the 3As and 2As here shortly.
Finally
Uh,
got the schedules.
yeah, well, we did wait a long time for the schedules. We were kind of a little slow on this one because Daniel's kind of been all over the place, and so was I for a while. So we do apologize for the Desert Sky 4, even though we had this one done. Um, at least all the information we needed was already gathered. We just weren't able to kind of get together and line it up. So we are going to try to spit out those 3 and 2s pretty quick here. Oh, you never know. our time lap might actually be very quick on some of
Yeah.
these.
Oh
We're gonna be
man.
saying our times real quick on some of these. But either way, guys, it was great. Anything else you need to say, Daniel?
Hey man, couple months, get ready. It's gonna come quick. Football will be back. So can't wait for it.
Hey, and just to also talk about, hey, another thing, big shout outs to SitBack. These chairs that we're gonna be doing. I might drop the little advertisement right after this. Other than that, we will talk to you guys later.
Meet SitBack's bleacher seat, the first comfy stadium seat. I'm a parent with kids in sports. I've lived on the bleachers and tried countless stadium seats. I found light seats, foldable seats, hot seats, this seat. I couldn't find a comfy seat, so I made my own. First, it has a tall back with lower back, middle back, upper back, and neck support. It's lined in thick, full-body contoured padding, complete with a head pillow and optimal height armrests with cushions. It has a breathable mesh back, L-shaped folding arms, and its angular design frames your body so it won't block anyone's view. Compact, lightweight, and portable is a must, so we made it fully collapsible with padded adjustable backpack straps. While most seats are fixed, the SitBack's bleacher seat reclines into a relaxed position. It was almost complete when I thought, what if I could also rotate the seat? So we added a rare swivel feature so you can fully rotate the seat in any direction and view from the best angle. And there we have it, the SitBack's bleacher seat. When I received the first model, I was so excited. There was no pressure on my neck, no pressure on my back. I was floating. Finally, a comfy seat. Now we're ready to share it with the world. Whether you're dedicated parents, sports fans, or event goers, you've invested significant time and money into these experiences. Now get ready to sit back and relax.